Shalom, shalom. I want to give first all praise and glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, which is the Heavenly Father, and Yahweh Shah, which is the Son. The topic today is going to be end times, prophecies, World War 3, everything in that category. So let's get to it. So we're going to kick it off with Amos chapter 3 and verse 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in a city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in a city, and the Lord have not done it? So basically, you seeing all this evil happening, uproars, killing of the people, persecution, assassination in Iran, all that stuff, or was it Iraq? I don't know. But the Lord's doing that. He's stirring up the spirits of the people to fulfill this prophecy of World War 3, because it's bound to happen. And I'm going to give you that in these verses. So now let's get Revelation chapter 11, verse 14. It's bound to happen. World War 3 is bound to happen. People making jokes about it, making memes. But when it actually come, they're going to be scared. Let's get Revelation chapter 11 and verse 14. The second woe is past. So the Second World War already passed. And behold, the third woe cometh quickly. So what's the third woe? World War 3. That's the third woe. It's going to come quickly. You already seen everything kicking off and everything. Look, it's at the door. World War 3 is at the door. Next thing you know, when you wake up in the morning, a draft, happening. All hell's about to break loose. But people still taking it as a joke. They're taking it lightly. You have Jake making memes and everything about it. It's out of control. So let's get Ezekiel chapter 33. Because everything's in the Bible. A lot of people don't really read the Bible, but if you read it, it's history. And, it tells the future and everything in the present. That's why it's called the Book of Life. So let's get Ezekiel chapter 33 and verse 3. If when he seeth the sword come up the land, he blow the trumpet and warn the people. So that's my job as a prophet, and other prophets too. When you see everything coming to pass and everything, it's our job to let the people know. We're blowing that spiritual trumpet, letting people know, like, what's going on. Because you have a watchman, his job, his duty is to let people know when something's about to come, when war's about to happen. Then whosoever hears the sound of the trumpet, so whosoever hears this video or listen to this video of me warning them what's about to happen, and taketh not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head. Look, your blood's going to be on your head. You listen to this video and everything, but you're still taking it lightly. You don't want to keep the commandments. You don't want to return to the Most High. You're still going to do your ungodly lust, and you're going to die. So, he heard the sound of the trumpet and took not warning. His blood shall be upon him. But he that taketh warning shall deliver his soul. So if you listen to this video, start keeping the commandments after this and everything, look, you're going to be delivered. You're going to be saved. You won't, take place in the plagues that's about to happen. You won't eat an ICBM missile sandwich. You won't be burnt alive. So it's time to, be for real about this. Ain't no joking. This is a huge warning. It's a blessing to be listening to this video right now, because you could be dead. You didn't have, the Most High didn't even have to let you listen to this video. You could have just died already. So it's a blessing. But if the watchmen see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, so if I see everything happening and everything, and I don't let you warn y'all, and the people be not warned, if the sword come and take any person from among them, he is taken away in his iniquity. But his blood will I require at the watchman's hands. So, hey, you're going to be blood upon my head too. It's my job to let y'all know. If I don't let people know and let them keep doing whatever they want to do, blood's going to be upon my head. So, yeah. So thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. So we're only a watchman to the house of Israel. You other nations, y'all bound to die and go into slavery. But the Israelites, which are the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, Y'all have a chance to be saved, so why mess that up? Why would you want to die with your enemies? Therefore thou shalt hear the word at my mouth, and warn them from me. So, it's explanatory. Because the Most High, Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shah, he's the man of war. You know, he ain't no soft dude that the so-called white man portray him as. A dude with long hair, gonna come back and play hopscotch with you, gonna come back and skip rocks with you at the lake. You don't know. It doesn't work like that. He's a man of war. Let's get Exodus chapter 15 and verse 3. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. So Christian churches, they don't tell you about all these prophecies happening. They just teach you about love, John 3:16. You know, they don't teach you about peace. Come as you are. You can be a homosexual. You can marry your dog. That's off. Hey, come as you are. You're going to get destroyed if you come as you are. So let's get Revelation. Let's see one of the prophecies right now. Let's get Revelation chapter 16 and verse 12. And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. So if you go on Google and type in Euphrates 2019, look, it's dried up. It's going to be dried up. It's dried up right now, actually. Didn't Donald Trump just send like 3,000 soldiers over there? So it's time to wake up. If you didn't even know about this, shame on you. You should be diligent, looking at the news and everything. So shame on you if you didn't know about this. If you just finding this out, shame on you. You got too caught up in the world and you're not paying attention. So let's get Ecclesiasticus chapter 39. Ecclesiasticus chapter in the Apocrypha. Chapter 39 and verse 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which is in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force, and appall the wrath of him that made them. So they're spirits, angels that's created for vengeance. They're the ones that's on the earth doing this right now. You know, all hell's about to break loose. Fire and hell and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. So what's going on in Venezuela right now? A famine. What's going on in California? A few months ago, there was like a huge fire that no one could put out. The Amazon, a huge fire. Angels are doing that through the Lord for vengeance. And you just had a solar eclipse. Hey, that's the mark of destruction, the judgment. Judgment's about to take place. So what's your judgment going to be? Are you righteous? You going to get delivered? Or are you wicked? You going to get destroyed? No in between. You can't be lukewarm in this. So let's get Joel. Joel chapter 2. Slocky, bear with me. What you need to do to be righteous, you need to start keeping the commandments. You can't be lukewarm. You can't be like, you can't put it off and just, I'll do it later. We all got stuff to work on. I'm not knocking that. But you can't just put it off. You gotta kill that old man when you have the chance. Because this is our grace period. When this grace period is gone, hey, there ain't no praying because he's not going to hear your praise anymore. So take advantage of this. So this is Joel chapter 2 and verse 1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion. Zion's in Jerusalem and everything, the Israelites. And sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble. For the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. So I'm trying to, warn the people. warn the Israelites that the day of the Lord is at hand. He's right at the door. The sky's about to break open, and he's going to destroy this wicked place. So you don't want to be with your enemies when you get killed. You want to be delivered from your enemies and see them get destroyed. So let's get Joel chapter 2 and verse 9. Shalakia chapter 3 and verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. So it's time to prepare war. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. The weak are basically like the citizens and everything. Their everyday stuff, like, let me get an example. Like chairs or something. They're gonna, get the edge of the chair sharpened into a spear, and they're gonna go to war too. They're gonna be killing. That's what it means saying, let the weak say I'm strong. So when you get invaded, the citizens are gonna be taking place. Taking, part of this, action. So it's gonna be all out war. Every man for himself at that time too. Cause you're gonna have a famine. It's gonna be all hell breaking loose. So let me keep going. There's more in this. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen. So who's the heathen? The other nations beside the Israelites. Those are the heathens. And gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be walking and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. Where the valley of Jehoshaphat, it's in the Middle East. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. So World War III is going to take place in the Middle East. That's the place where all hell's going to break loose, because he's going to come from the east and destroy all of them. He's going to make war with them. When I say he, I mean Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness and great is great. Multitudes in the valley of decision. So it's going to be all nations in the valley of decision in the Middle East, and World War III, fighting each other. That's multitudes. For the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. So, they're going to be fighting and everything. Then the sky going to crack open. Then Yahweh is going to come, and his angels going to, burn this place down. Destroy all the nations in that valley of decisions and kill all of them. Then he's going to come over here in Babylon to destroy this wicked place too. So let's get 2nd Ezra. Let's get 2nd Ezra, chapter 15. See, like, you bear with me. Second Ezra chapter 15 and verse 25. That's what we're going to start off with. I would not spare them. Let me start at 24. So this is 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 24. Woe to them that sin and keep not my commandments, saith the Lord. So destruction upon you that don't keep the commandments and sin, because sin is the transgression of the law, according to 1 John chapter 3 and verse 4. I will not spare them. Go your way, Salakia. Go your way, ye children, from the power. Defile not my sanctuary. For the Lord knoweth all them that sin against him, and therefore delivereth he them, Salakia. Delivereth he them unto death, and Salakia. Delivereth he them unto death and destruction. So if you sin, he's going to deliver you into destruction, not unto salvation. For now are the plagues come upon the whole earth, and ye shall remain in them. For God shall not deliver you, because you have sinned against him. So if you sin and you want to take part of that plague, the famine, all hell about to break loose, you're not going to be delivered in those days, man. Behold, an horrible vision, and the appearance thereof in the east, were the nations of the dragons of Arabia. So what's the nations of Arabia? Iran, the Middle East. That's the nation of Arabia. Come out with many chariots. And again, what's chariots? That's modern day, helicopters, fighter jets. But don't forget, this like in the Ezra, it's like in the 4th century or something like that. He can't, use, fighter jets and everything like that. He don't know about all those things. So you gotta bear with it. You gotta use your spiritual mind to discern everything and precepts to know what he's talking about. Meaning chariots, and a multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. So there's gonna be multitudes in the air of jets, helicopters and all that, tanks, going. It's gonna be loud, and the people who hear it, they're gonna be scared, because nobody on this earth witnessed something like that, really. Not our generation, Also, the Carmanians raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood. With great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. So we gotta know who the Carmanians. The Carmanians are the Iranians from Iran. Those are the Carmanians. If you look it up, it's people from Iran. Look it up on Google. But let me get this. Also the Carmanian, I already read that. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature, and if they shall turn themselves conspiring together in great power to persecute them. So the Arabians and everything, the Middle Eastern people, they gonna remember their nature. They're crazy. They are wild. They're gonna have kids strapped up with bombs. They're gonna be flying, jets into the other nations and everything. You can't fight that. You cannot fight that. What's one thing? If a man don't care about his own life, what makes you think he gonna care about your life? He gonna destroy everybody, man. He gonna be crazy. What's one thing a lot of people fear? Someone that don't care about his life. You see someone that don't care about your life, that kind of scares you a little. Like, dang, bro, you don't care about your life? And he might kill you in a car or something. He playing around with the car and everything, don't care about his life. Then boom, you're both dead. So let me get a precept upon that to back it up, that the Ishmaelites, which are the Arabians and everything, the Middle Eastern people, are the people that's wild and everything. So let me get Genesis chapter 16. Bear with me. Genesis chapter 16 and verse 11. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Behold, thou art with child, and shalt bear a name, and shall call his name Ishmael. So who is Ishmael? The Ishmaelites? The Arabian people, the Middle Eastern people. Like Iran, Iraq and all of them. Because the Lord hath heard thy affliction, and he will be a wild man. His hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him. And he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. So he's going to be a wild man. And what does it mean when it says he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren? If you look at the Middle Eastern, they're all the countries are all together and everything. All nations would be against them, and they're going to join hands. They're going to join forces together to go against the other nations. So it's going to be all hell breaking loose. They're going to have the upper hand because they're going to remember their nature, and they're going to be destroying this place, man. I'm not this place, but they're going to be destroying them with the crazy acts they do, strapping bombs to a kid, having a plane. They're going to jump out of a plane with a bomb strapped to them. It's going to be crazy, man. It's just in their nature. Anything for the country, But so let's continue reading in 2nd Ezra chapter 15. There's more in this. Where did we leave off? Let's read 31 again. 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 31. And you should be taking notes and everything, so you can actually know what's happening. You can have this in your mind. You can study. And you should be telling, if you're a man in this truth, you should be doing the same thing. Waking up the people of Israel. taking notes, studying, and go out, and teach people. Wake up the elect, and keep the commandments. But this 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 31. And thou, Salakia, and then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature, and that they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them. Then these shall be troubled and keep silence through their power and shall flee. Hey, so the United States and everything, they're gonna be like, they crazy. We gotta get out of here. They're gonna flee. Cause you can't do anything against that, man. And from the land of the Assyrians shall the enemies besiege them and consume some of them. And in their host shall be fear and dread and strife among their kings. Behold, clouds from the east and from the north unto the south, and they are very horrible to look upon, full of wrath and storm. So what are clouds? Again, it's like chariots, clouds. It's not actual rain clouds and everything. Ezra's not looking at clouds saying, oh my gosh, it's horrible. He's looking at the helicopters and everything coming from the south, the east. What's east from Jerusalem? Russia and all of that, You got clouds coming from the south, the north, every which way. Clouds, which are the, helicopters and everything, the jets and everything. But let's keep going. Full of wrath and storm. So they come in, in ranks and everything. I don't know what they actually call it. They coming in order. But they shall smite one another, and they shall smite down a great multitude of stars upon the earth, even their own star. So we gotta know what a star is. A star is not an actual star, because Jay keep like, oh, I see a star coming down. Hey, babe, make a wish. Then boom, you're eating an ICBM missile sandwich. It's talking about the missiles, not actual star. Don't make a wish. So let's get that. I gotta back it up. I can't just tell you something and not back it up. So let's get Matthew chapter 24 and verse 29. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 29. Immediately after those tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heaven shall be shaken. So the shaking of the earth, that's how missiles hitting, the ICBM missiles, the nuclear missiles and everything. Boom, you can't stand. It's going to be like an earthquake kind of. So much power. So let me get a precept upon that. Let's get Revelation chapter 8 and verse 10. Precept upon precept. Revelation chapter 8 and verse 10. And the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp, and it fell upon the third parts of the rivers, and upon the fountains of waters. And the name of the star is called Wormwood. You don't want to read, But, Salakia. Let me read that again. Revelation chapter 8 and verse 10. And that third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp, and it fell upon the third part of the rivers. So it's coming down. It's not going to be an actual star. It's coming down. A missile's coming down. Boom. Burning like a lamp. When it blows up, it looks like a lamp, burning. And the third part, Slovakia. The third means the destruction, the complete destruction, the emphasis of the destruction. And then you can't even drink that water anymore, because all the radiation and everything's in that water. And that's when the famine's gonna break loose too. So look, all hell is breaking loose, man. So let's get Revelation chapter 6 and verse 12. And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake. And the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood. So that's Yahushua making his second coming. And the stars of heaven fell into the earth, even as fig tree casteth her untimely figs, when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And the heaven departed as a scroll winds rolled together, and every mountain and island were removed out of their place. So when it says every mountain and island were removed out of their place, hey, they're getting destroyed by that ICBM missile. You know, off the face of the earth. So, because again, you gotta look at it. John the Revelator, who's in Revelations, revealing everything. When the missiles are in the sky, it looks like a star falling. Cause look, he's trying his best to describe everything. He don't know that's an ICBM missile in the sky. Cause it looked like a star falling. He don't know what's going on. He don't know like the correct terminology to use. So you gotta bear with it and discern everything out. That's why you gotta get precepts and precepts, line upon line, here a little, there a little. Yeah. So let me read this one more thing. Let's jump down to, we can get 15. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman and every free man, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. So why would you be hiding in the rocks and the mountains and everything? One, for the missiles, and two, for when Yahweh comes, they're gonna be too scared to even, be out there, caught out there. So let's go back to 2nd Ezra chapter 15. So let's get 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 36. And dung of men unto the camel's hoof, and there shall be great fearfulness and trembling upon earth, and they that see the wrath shall be afraid, and trembling shall come upon them. And then shall there come great storms from the south, and from the north, and another part from the west. And what's that storm? Again, it's not actual clouds and everything. What sounds like a storm? If you have a multitude of jets and everything coming out one time, it's gonna sound like a storm and everything. It's gonna be so loud. It's gonna sound like a storm. It's not actual storm cloud coming. You see it. See, like I said, you got to go into the precepts and everything to discern everything. So let's get Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 6. Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 6. So like you bear with me. Isaiah 29. Isaiah chapter 29 verse 6. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunders and with earthquake and great noise. So that's that great noise with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire. So when the ICBM missiles hit, that's a flame of fire and everything. So let me keep reading though. And strong winds shall arise from the east, and shall open it, and the cloud which he raised up in wrath, and the stars stirred to cause fear towards the east and west wind shall be destroyed. The great and mighty clouds shall be lifted up full of wrath, and the star, that they may make all the earth afraid, and them that dwell therein, and they shall pour out over every high and eminent place and horrible star. So again, what's that star? The missiles. When people see the missiles going over their country's atmosphere, they're gonna be afraid. Fire and hell and flying swords. So what's the flying swords? The missiles that shoot from the jets, the bullets they shoot from the helicopters. That's the flying sword. And many waters, that all fields may be full, and all rivers with the abundance of great waters. And they shall break down the cities and walls, mountains and hills, trees of the wood and grass of the meadows, and their corn. So when these missiles hit, they're going to destroy everything in its path. The walls, your agriculture, just everything. They shall come to her and besiege her. The star, Salaki, let me read that again. 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 44. They shall come to her and besiege her, the star, and all wrath shall they pour out upon her. Then shall the dust and smoke go up unto the heaven, and all they that be about her shall bewail her. So that her, that's Babylon. As you can see, when we keep going down, that's Babylon. They're gonna send all nations gonna send missiles over here. They're gonna turn their necks from her and go against her and throw all missiles over here. They're gonna be smoke going up into the heavens. So much smoke you can't even see the sky anymore. So let's get it. And they that remain under her shall do service unto them that have put her in fear. And thou, Asia, that art partaker of the hope of Babylon, and art the glory of her person. So yeah, Babylon is about to get destroyed. There's more on that if you want to keep reading. So let's get more on these missiles real quick. Let's see how these missiles the effect of the missiles, the ICBM missiles, the nuclear hypersonic missile, what it's gonna do. Let's get more detail on that. So let's get Zechariah chapter 14 and verse 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. So when you're getting burned up by the ICBM missile, there's no time to even look. You're going to get burned up, your eye, you're going to be standing, everything's going to consume away. Disintegrate. It's going to all just go away. It's going to be like you're going to feel like you're in a burning oven, a hot oven. But so let's get another precept upon that. Let's get Malachi chapter 4 and verse 1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that shall leave them neither root nor branch. Look, so root is like your feet. Branch is like, your arms and everything. There's going to be nothing left. Because men are portrayed in the Bible as trees too. So look, you're going to get burned up. The wicked are. If you being righteous, what's righteousness? Keeping the commandments, Or the commandments, let me give you some, the Sabbath, keeping the Sabbath, which is Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. You can't buy or sell. You can't warm a hot dog in the microwave on the Sabbath. You got to prepare your food and you got to do everything before Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. You can't eat pork. You got to wear fringes. Ladies, you got to wear a dress. You can't wear anything pertaining to a man. Let me get that real quick because, hey, Eve will fight you with that, man. You tell her to wear a dress, hey, she be damn near trying to kill you. Let's get Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all that do so are abomination unto the Lord thy God. So you can't wear pants. Why do a female, need a zipper on her pants? Don't even wear a dress. If the dress is too hot for you, put some leggings on, man. Stop showing off your body. That's off. Yeah, thus saith the Lord. Thus saith the Lord. So take it up with the Most High if you don't like that. So back to this. Let's get Revelation chapter 17. Real quick. Revelation chapter 17 and verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, the 10 horns like the United Nations, the European people, the 10 horns. These shall hate the whore. So who's the whore? That's Babylon. And shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. They're going to burn America with fire. They're not going to be trading with her anymore. They're going to cut off all tradings with her. They're going to see her for the real person she is, the real whore that she is. So they're going to make her desolate. They're going to burn her up with fire. With what? The ICBM missiles. via the ICBM missiles. And hey, it is what it is. So let's get one more. Because people think, America gonna be up forever. Talking about make America great again. Look, it's too late for that. Because the so-called white man, which is the devil, thus saith the Lord, according to the Bible, he's the manifestation of the spirit of Satan, the devil. But he has a certain time period that he can rule. He even have a doomsday clock. So they know what's going on. And they seeing all this happening. Look, I bet they got Pampers on right now and shitting themselves right now. Excuse my language. They scared to death. They don't want to see their kingdom fall, but they only have a certain time period to rule. And guess what? We got next. The Israelites got next. It's going to be our turn to rule forever and ever. Amen. If you're keeping the commandments. If you're not keeping the commandments, well, that's 2/3 that's going to get destroyed. Only 1/3 and 144K, which is the elect. The elect is the 144K, which will rule over everybody. The prophets. If you're a prophet, you're going to be part of that 144K. If you're just a righteous man, doing the commandments and everything, you're not going to be part of that 144K, but you're still going to get into the kingdom and be delivered, So let's get Isaiah. Not that many people are getting saved, though, man. Isaiah chapter 47. Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon, sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. So when it says come down and sit in the dust, they're going to be at a low estate. They're going to be destroyed off the face of the earth. And when all that over, they're going to be slaves. And also the other nation going to be slaves too. But mainly, all this destruction is towards Esau, because everything he says, the so-called white man say, is contrary to the Most High. If the Most High say do this, he won't do the opposite. He's the reason there's confusion on this earth. So it's time to that's why the 144K, the elect, is on this earth right now. They're bringing back the children of Israel to the banner, to this to the house, with the sanctuary, which is the Bible, and the heritage and everything. They bring back people together and destroy this wicked place. So it's time for them to sit in the dust. Their kingdom going to get destroyed. Thus saith the Lord. And you can't do nothing about it. You can't. So, Lord willing, this was edifying. Shalom.